So hey there. Today I want us to discuss on a topic called mother wounds. And maybe you're familiar with this term. Maybe you've heard it before. I welcome you as we discuss and try to learn what are mother wounds. So from the beginning, I know you're quite surprised, like can a mother inflict a wound to her own children, to her own lovely, beloved children? Yes, a mother can inflict an emotional wound to her own children, and that's the terminology of mother wounds. This is whereby, when a mother is emotionally unavailable or not attuned to her children's needs. Now, why is it very important for a mother to ensure that she's emotionally attuned to her children's needs? Because the presence and constancy of a mother established during the first year of life is instrumental for the child's psychological and emotional well-being. Psychoanalyst Heinz Kohut sees it best when she says that the gleam in the mother's eye when she gazes at her infant is the vehicle by which the child feels validated and affirmed and can begin to develop in a healthy way. So the exact opposite is also true, that if your mother's stare or gleam was dark, the energy was, there was a break in that energy, whereby the way she looked you back, it was a stare of, harshness. Highest probability you won't develop to an emotional, you won't develop emotionally. There'll be a halt in your emotional development. Since we are speaking of, the emotional unavailability that our mothers did pass us down. So you're wondering how can I know that my mom passed this on to me? What are the signs and symptoms of mothers who pass, the emotional maternal wound? One is a highly critical mother. Mothers that compare children, the firstborn, you have to be like you need to be like this one, this one, this one. That is a very critical mother, highly critical, because understand, we're all different beings. We don't have the same talents, we don't have the same, gifts given within us. So if your mom was so critical, not only even with gifts and talents, maybe she was even critical when you did one mistake. It was so magnified with the minute mistake that you did. It was not a matter of correction, but it was more of like you're a failure, you won't amount to anything to life. Such harsh statements, that is a sign that your mom did pass her maternal wound. The other thing, if your mother never mirrored your emotions, it's like you are going through a bad day, you're a child, someone has, messed you up, but you have no one to speak to, because you go to speak to your parent or to your mom, and all you get is a blank stare, or a critical stare, or a judgmental stare. So if your mom never bared your pain, or never, comforted you or consoled you during your pains of life, she definitely impacted down her mother wounds. The other thing is, if your mother never allowed you to express negative emotions like anger, sadness, rejection, abandonment, these are things to do with life. It's like, maybe your friend was relocating to a different country, and there's a way you would feel. You'd feel like, oh, I'm going to miss my friend. You'd feel sad, you'd feel rejected, you'd feel abandoned. But the minute you go and express those emotions, it's like you're shunned. You're like, so you go with and move in with them. African parents, raise up your hand if you grew up in such a home. Like the minute you try to express your sadness, or something didn't align with you, it was seen as childish, and you're a child. So yes, if you never allowed to express your negative emotions like sadness, anger, hatred, jealousy, such emotions, bitterness, you don't have to be unruly to express those emotions, but the emotions that need to be expressed, because now as an adult you don't know how to handle such emotions, because it was never taught, it was never promoted, there was no place that you could have shown these emotions. Now you're out here having outburst, because from the upbringing it was never expressed. The other thing is, sadly to say this, that but I have to speak about it, if your mother had mental conditions like depression, bipolar, anxiety, PTSD, such mental illnesses do have an impact of, she wasn't physically fit, emotionally, mentally. How was she able to give a capacity that she didn't have? How was she able to handle children when herself she's already incapacitated with the illness? So if your mom sadly experienced this illness, she did pass and inflict to you her mother wounds. And my last bit would be alcoholism. If your mom was an alcoholic, there was no point in her life whereby there was sobriety, meaning, the rationality to make wise decisions, the rationality to be in tune with her own mind, her herself. It was either the alcohol, drugs, such things definitely has an impact on her mothering. She's not able to be attentive to her own children's need. She's not even able to be attentive to her own self. How can she, be the mother to her own children? So that is the end of my topic. If I've missed out on anything, kindly feel free to comment in the comment section. And there is healing. There is healing. There is healing. And the next steps I'm going to speak is something called the interruption process. We want to understand, why is it that our mothers or your mother or some other people mothers do inflict down their wound. We want to understand them so that we have grace and love, because they are our mothers from the word go. It's a gift that we have them. So feel free to engage. Thank you.